Josh Smith here again, All Guitar Network, with some tips and tricks. And let's move away from talking about music and talk a little bit about gear, everybody's favorite thing. Now, what do we love as guitar players? We love gear, and what do we love more than anything? We love vintage guitars. I love them, I want them, I crave them, as we all do. I can't afford them, like most of you guys. I don't have many in my arsenal, and that bums me out. Now, what's the way that I have been able to acquire every now and then a decent vintage guitar? What do you have to look for to make that happen when you're a working, starving musician? You got to find a player-grade guitar. Now, what do I mean by that? I got an example of one right here. This is a player-grade vintage Strat. Now, that means when a guitar like this comes up, all the real players in town are immediately jumping over themselves to try to figure out a way to grab it, because it's the only way they can get into a guitar like this. This is a 64 Strat. But this body has been completely refinned. There's a huge route underneath here, a swimming pool route. The pickups are original, but all the wiring is non-original. But guess what? The neck is stock, and the neck feels great, no refin. It's an original 64 Strat neck. I mean, the whole thing, obviously an original 64 Strat guitar, but the refin and the route and the wiring, those are things that make the guitar come back to earth slightly so that mortals can possibly afford a guitar like this. And those are the things I look for. Sometimes with Gibsons, I look for guitars that had a broken headstock already. Because a lot of times if the guy did a good repair, it'll never break again, and it may be even sturdier than it was before the break. And, you know, a headstock break guitar is worth thousands less than without. So those are the only way I can get a vintage 335 or something like that. Those are things I'm always looking for. And this is a good example of that. Let's hear kind of just what this one sounds like. Because as you'll hear, when it sounds good, it doesn't matter if it's been refinned or if the neck was broken. It just matters, does it sound good, feel good, and inspire you to play. So here's the neck pickup. Here's neck and middle. Middle pickup. Middle bridge. And a bridge. So, as you can see, it still sounds really great. These are the things I'm always looking for. It's the only way I can possibly get into a guitar like this. Like, even look, check out the strap button. That's not a stock strap button. You know, really weird. But anyways, it's a great guitar, and it might enable me to one day buy it or something like it. And I'm always looking and searching for those player grade guitars. So if you're into vintage guitars, you should be always looking for those words: player grade, refin, refret, changed electronics, broken headstock, repair, blah, blah, blah. Those are the ways you can get into these guitars. And, you know, you can still find ones that have the magic.